What's the next page? 135. The peppered moth. Dark gray moths are better able to blend with the bark of the dark trees, and the light gray moths can only blend in with lighter bark. So you have a picture of a black moth and a picture of the peppered moth here. Now this is a situation where there's peppered moths in this community, like in this forest, and then during the Industrial Revolution, they're burning all of this like coal, and then it's covering the trees dark. They basically have to be fully black in order to match the color of the trees. They blend in better and camouflage so they don't get eaten. The ability of an animal like a moth to produce a variety of itself is inherent in, just nature, just common nature, but it's still a moth. Black moths are going to be able to blend in with the environment, and so the peppered moths will die off and the black moths will overtake the population when they use in the textbooks, because it is a process that works. Natural selection does work. It produces a variety, and then in certain conditions, like the dog develops really long hair and it gets trapped in, the North or the South Poles, maybe it'll be able to survive better, like colder regions, for instance. So, yeah, it works, but it never changes like the dog into something other than a dog, a bacteria into anything other than a bacteria, or a moth into anything other than a moth. It's the same thing. The peppered moth is developed from a straight up lie. Okay, they had to actually glue the dead black moths onto those trees to take the picture. I think in reality what happened is like all those moths end up dying. So it didn't even work. They can replicate it in the laboratory today where it does work, but it didn't happen in nature at that time. They still use that example though. There are other examples that they could use for natural selection working. I mean, we're seeing it all the time, but they choose this one, which was just a proven fraud. So why don't they get a better example? I mean, this is just sad. This is a 2020 textbook, is using it to teach second graders general science. This textbook, provides evidence for common ancestry, evidence for evolution, and this is part of it. They're saying, well, because it's their fuzzy logic, because the moth can produce, the peppered moth can produce offspring that's totally black, and those black can survive in their environment and take over the population. Well, then, therefore, the moth and the banana are related, and that's crazy because that's not testable, observable, or demonstrable. I don't care how much evidence you think that you have, you don't have any of it, because you can't produce a major change like that. You have to wait for millions of years for some unknown process of biology they even claim to not even be able to understand, that's using deep time and this minor alteration of the genetics to actually change major features of the DNA and structure of the animal. Never been observed. So, this is one small step to achieving that, but it's simply not enough. If you were to put it in a pill form, the level of confidence that people have in marketing this and it working and not being dangerous to people, it'd be very low. It'd be like you're on like 0.1. Okay, a scale 1 to 10, you're not even at 1 there. Okay, you need to have a certain level of confidence. You need to have compelling evidence, and so you could look at every field of research that they try to use to support evolution theory, common ancestry, macroevolution, and none of it, can stand up to close scrutiny. And it's certainly not stood the test of time